Have you ever wondered what happens when a truly powerful person, we're talking a king, one of the most influential people of his era, goes looking for wisdom? Well, today we're diving into an ancient story that does just that. It's about a ruler whose search leads to this incredible public teaching that really challenges the very idea of who we think we are. It's a fantastic story of power, of doubt, and in the end, a pretty profound awakening. Okay, so picture this. Our story kicks off at a place called the Bamboo Grove. The Buddha's there, along with 1,000 of his senior monks. Word gets out, of course, and it reaches the ears of King Bimbisāra, who's the ruler of the very powerful kingdom of Magadha. He hears the Buddha is nearby and decides, I have to go see him. I have to hear this for myself. And look, when a king of this stature decides to go somewhere, he doesn't just, hop in a car. We are talking about a massive procession, 12,000 chariots. He's got musicians, soldiers, his entire court, the whole shebang. This isn't just a casual visit, it's a statement. It shows the incredible respect the king has for the Buddha. Now here's where it gets really interesting. What happens when he actually arrives? This powerful monarch, King Bimbisāra, gets there, and the first thing he does is take off all his royal symbols, his crown, his sword, everything. He walks up on foot, kneels down, and praises the Buddha. He's not acting like a king anymore. He's acting like a humble student. And this act, the shedding of his own power, is a really crucial first step on his journey. So the king and his massive entourage all find a place to sit, and this quiet hush falls over the whole assembly. But as people start looking around, they notice something kind of strange, something that doesn't quite add up. And this little murmur of confusion starts to ripple through the crowd, and this becomes the central tension of the whole story. What are they seeing? Well, standing right next to the Buddha, in the position of a student, is a man that everybody recognizes, Rājagṛha Kassapa. And this is what's so confusing. See, Kassapa wasn't just some guy. He was a spiritual giant in his own right, a super famous and respected master known for these incredible fire rituals. He had his own massive following of disciples. And so the question hanging in the air, the thing everyone is whispering about, is this. Why on earth would a great teacher like Kassapa, a leader himself, be standing there like a student to someone else? Did he lose some kind of spiritual battle? Is this a trick? You could literally feel the doubt growing in the crowd. The Buddha, being the Buddha, picks up on this collective doubt immediately. He doesn't ignore it. He turns right to Kassapa and asks him this very public, very direct question. He's basically giving Kassapa the floor to clear up all the confusion himself, right then and there. So Kassapa explains his complete change of heart. He says that his old practices, all those fire rituals, were ultimately aimed at worldly things. Sensory pleasures, having a good reputation, maybe getting a better rebirth. He realized that whole path, as powerful as it seemed, was actually a trap. It was just built on attachment, and it could never, ever lead to real, lasting peace. But words are one thing. To completely crush any little bit of doubt that might be left and to really show everyone the depth of his transformation, Kassapa gets ready to give a demonstration. And what he does next is, well, it's absolutely spectacular. He leaps into the air and performs this incredible series of miracles. First, he appears in the east, and he's somehow walking, standing, sitting, and lying down all at the same time. Then he just explodes in these dazzling lights of every color imaginable. And then he performs what's called the twin miracle, producing fire from the top half of his body and water from the bottom, and then, bam, reverses it. And he does this whole stunning display in all four directions, so absolutely everyone sees it. After this unbelievable show, Kassapa lands right in front of the Buddha, bows down, and declares loud and clear for everyone to hear, "The world-honored one is my master. I am his disciple." And just like that, the demonstration of power, followed by that crystal-clear statement, all the crowd's doubt just evaporates. The stage is officially set. Okay, so with everyone's minds completely blown and all that doubt totally gone, the real reason for this whole gathering can finally happen. That spectacle was amazing, but it had a purpose. It created this atmosphere of perfect, open-minded attention. Now, with every single person locked in and ready to listen, the Buddha turns to King Bimbisāra to deliver the deep teaching he came for. He starts by breaking down what we think of as a person into 5 basic components, or as they're called, aggregates. Think of them like the building blocks of you. First, there's form. That's our physical body. Then there's feeling, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral sensations. Then perceptions. That's how our minds label and interpret everything. Then formations. These are our habits, our intentions, our will. And finally, there's consciousness. Just that basic awareness that knows all the other stuff is happening. This is the toolkit the Buddha's about to use to take apart the very idea of a solid, permanent self. So the Buddha begins this incredible back and forth with the king, using a series of really simple, logical questions. He starts with the most obvious part of us, our body, our physical form. He asks, is it permanent or impermanent? And the king, of course, says, it is impermanent. It changes, it gets sick, it gets old. Easy enough. The Buddha then takes the next logical step. He asks, okay, so this thing that's always changing, that we can't fully control, is it ultimately a source of real, lasting happiness, or is it a source of suffering? And the king has to agree, it's a source of suffering. And here it is. This is the knockout punch. The Buddha asks, so if our body is impermanent and it's a source of suffering, does it make any sense at all to cling to it and say, this is me, this is mine, this is my true, unchanging self? And the king's answer is a definite no, it is not. This is such a brilliant method, right? Because the Buddha then just systematically goes through the other 4 aggregates using the exact same logic. Are our feelings permanent? Nope. Our thoughts? Nope. Our intentions, our consciousness? No, no, and no. And are they all tied up with suffering? Yep. So can any of them be who we really are? The answer, again and again, is no. So what's the effect of this? This step-by-step, methodical deconstruction of the self. Well, for King Bimbisāra, who showed up with all the baggage of his royal identity, the impact is absolutely profound, and it happens right away. The original text says that right there, sitting in the crowd, his Dharma eye opened. It's this beautiful way of saying he had a moment of massive insight. It's like a switch flipped, and he wasn't just understanding the Buddha's words intellectually. He was seeing the truth of it directly for himself. And get this, it wasn't just the king. The sutra says that 80,000 celestial beings, these are like invisible gods and spirits who were also there listening, they all had the exact same breakthrough moment. It's a detail that's meant to show us just how universal and powerful this teaching really is. Now, a real awakening isn't just a cool mental experience. It changes how you live. And the king immediately takes action. He formally takes refuge in the Buddha, his teaching, and the community. He vows to live an ethical life, no killing, stealing, and so on. And crucially, he becomes a lifelong patron, promising to support the Buddha and his monks so that this teaching can continue to flourish. So in the end, the king arrives and physically bows to the Buddha, which is a huge symbol of him letting go of his worldly status. But the real letting go, the truly profound surrender that the teachings asked of him, wasn't physical at all. It was the mental release of the most powerful identity any of us cling to, the very idea of a solid, permanent self. And that's a lesson that goes way beyond this one ancient story.